Hi, everyone. My name is Justin Fouch, and welcome to my presentation. Last time I talked to you guys when I introduced myself, I talked to you guys about a few of my hobbies, including board games and tabletop games, and today I kind of want to delve deeper into one of my hobbies, and that's Dungeons and Dragons. Let's see. So, getting started, what is Dungeons and Dragons? What do you need, and how to find a group? These are all things that I'm going to cover during this presentation. So, if you're interested or if you've heard of Dungeons and Dragons, I'm going to try and tell you what it's all about. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for, well, I'm 19 now. I'm going on 20 in July. I've probably been playing since I was 12 years old, so I have a good range of experience. And I've been playing it for a long time. And I just feel like I have enough knowledge to be able to convey to you what it's all properly about, and maybe give you a good idea, or maybe get you interested in playing. So that'd be awesome if I could, if I could accomplish one of those goals. That would be amazing. So first of all, what is Dungeons and Dragons? If you've never heard of Dungeons and Dragons, that's understandable. It's a very nerdy thing. It's actually blowing up a lot more in this age than it has in the past. So that's really amazing to see. Basically, Dungeons and Dragons, it's a tabletop role-playing game. What does that mean? So basically, you get a group of people. It could be at least two, upwards to however many you want. It's more difficult with more people you get. You need a really big table if you have like 20 people or something. But basically, you get a group of people around a table, and then what? Well, there are two types of players. There's a dungeon master, and then there are the players. And basically, the dungeon master is the storyteller and the referee of the game. And basically, Dungeons and Dragons it's like a video game, except there's no winning and losing. It's basically an outlet for storytelling and ultimately imagination. So you have a dungeon master, and he's the storyteller. And then you have the players. And the players are the people who get to interact with the DM story. DM stands for Dungeon Master. Basically, the players interact with the Dungeon Master story. And the players get to kind of thrive in this world that the Dungeon Master tells. And with each group, it's different. It can be any world that the Dungeon Master imagines up and puts the players in. And the players get to choose this plethora of races and different classes that are in the game, and they get to explore the world and role play and interact with people and slay monsters and stuff. It's truly like a amazing experience to get around a table with a group of your friends and just play this game, just using narrative and imagination. It's really an outlet for creativity. And for me, I always wanted to be a writer, but I can't really focus on sitting down and writing, especially during college. So Dungeons and Dragons is an amazing outlet for me because I get to I'm a dungeon master and a player. I get to write stuff down, and instead of like publishing a book and waiting to see how it proceeds or if anybody reads it, I get a group of my closest friends and we gather around a table and I put my story in front of them and they interact with it. The best way to describe it is, in simpler terms, the dungeon master is a computer monitor, right? And the players are keyboards and mice, or just people using keyboards and mice, and they are doing actions and typing things in and hitting enter. And then the dungeon master, instead of seeing something visually, the dungeon master narrates that back to the audience and just describes what happens. So if I was a player and I wanted to buy an item from a shopkeep, I would role play that out, or I could even just say I want to go talk to the shopkeep, and the dungeon master would describe how you walk up to him and basically put on a voice or an act on what the shopkeep says, and then describes the interaction between the player and this non-player character that the dungeon master has created out of thin air. It's amazing. Dungeons and Dragons, the base game takes place in a fantasy setting. So swords, dragons, dungeons, obviously, and monsters, beasts, heroes, kings, queens, empires. But there are a bunch of different settings in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. Dungeons and Dragons is just the genre of game. There are sci-fi games, there are Star Wars games, variants. There's a whole bunch of different, like, zombie apocalypse Dungeons and Dragons. There's so many different things. It's all just imagination. So if that was clear, I'm going to be talking about what you need. And there are different things. This is kind of a topic of debate, but really all you need is a set of dice and a group of players. That's all you really need at the end. You might even just need a group of players, depending on how you play it. You just need people. Stories are driven by people. And however, if you want the true Dungeons and Dragons experience, I would recommend getting the Dungeons and Dragons starter kit. If you haven't got into it at all, the starter kit comes with pretty much everything you need to get started. So a rule book, a set of dice, and player sheets. And that's all you need, truly. But there are other accessories. So you're going to want, it only comes with one set of dice, and you really want, if you're going to be sharing dice, they could get lost. If you have like 7 players and one set of dice, that could be annoying. So you really want to get like a pack of dice for each player. Preferably, you get some of the books. So this is one of the books. This is a player's handbook. And this has all the rules in full detail, cover to back, all the character options. This is basically the Bible for Dungeons and Dragons. It has everything a player could need, everything the Dungeon Master could need, and it is amazing. You're also going to want, preferably, a laptop or pen and paper to take notes. If you're a Dungeon Master, you're going to want, like, a method to write things down and keep track of things unless you completely freeball it. As Dungeon Masters, their job is to prepare everything for the players. And basically, you're going to want to write stuff down. You're going to want to write stuff down, or you can just wing it. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. It's completely up to you. And also, without getting into it, there are also other books you can pick up that have adventures written out for you and different things that you can add onto your game, and it's awesome. There's so much stuff you should check out. Let's see. So, how to find a group. You can go to game stores, not like GameStop or like Target or anything like that, like hobby shops that sell like miniatures and like board games and stuff like that, and card games. They usually have people you can meet there. Also, you can find people online using Reddit and different Discords. We're all going to college, obviously, so clubs and communities are a good option as well. There are a lot of clubs and communities around different colleges that have Dungeons and Dragons, and like I said, it's blowing up, so I'd really recommend checking out a club. Also, invite friends. Even if your friends haven't played it and you don't think they would enjoy it, or they would just be like, that's kind of nerdy, invite them. See what they think. I have friends that didn't even want anything to do with Dungeons and Dragons, and it completely, when they played it, they completely transformed them. So please invite your friends. I guarantee they'll love it. I guarantee you'll love it. It's such a fun game if you can just put yourself in that imaginative world, and it's just an outlet for storytelling, and it's so much fun to gather your friends up and play Dungeons and Dragons or whatever variant you play, or even just board games. Tabletop games are just a way to bring people around a table and have fun. So I hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me. I could help you with anything. I didn't want to make this video too long. There's so much stuff in this player's handbook. I didn't want to just sit here and read it to you. I just kind of wanted to get you guys an idea of what Dungeons & Dragons is. So thank you. Again, any questions, feel free to message me. Here's the Works Cited page. I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon.